So Paul, tell us about the history of Caruso Turley Scott.
Sam Caruso started working in Phoenix in 1959. He was working for an engineer called Madeirafont, who we have very little information on. But Madeirafont passed away, and so in 1963, Sam was about to start working for someone else when enough of the clients that had been working with Madeirafont asked him if he would start a firm. So in 1963, Sam Caruso started Caruso Engineering. In 1965, Sam partnered with Robin Park, and it was Caruso and Park for about 12 years, maybe 13 years. In late 1978, Caruso and Park went their own ways, and you couldn't have had two different people. Sam Caruso was so much different than Park, but both had successful firms, which is a good lesson in life. You don't have to be the same to have a successful firm. And I was part of Caruso and Park at that time. Richard Turley had left and gone to the city of Tempe, but I went with Sam, and some other people went with Sam also. Among them, Sheila Hall, who is still in our office today. And for two and a half years, it was Caruso Engineering again. Sam had some heart issues, and one of the luckiest things that ever happened to Richard Turley and Paul Scott was on November 10th of 1981, Sam Caruso asked us to be junior partners. So on November 11th, Caruso, Turley, and Scott began. And it has grown to be, we started out, we probably had 8 people in the office, maybe 9, and it has grown to be the 85-person firm that we have today.
Paul, when did you first meet Richard Turley?
I met Richard Turley the first day of work for me, which was June 20th, 1977 at Caruso and Park. And Richard had been there maybe 2 or 3 months before I was there. So I did what I tell all of our engineers not to do. I asked Richard Turley all the technical questions. I tell our engineers to talk to the new engineers about the weather. Don't ask them the questions about the technical stuff because they don't know. But I didn't know Richard didn't know, and it's easier to talk to someone who hadn't been there all that long. I had other supervisors also, but because of that, Richard and I became good friends. And when I look back on that, I mean, how lucky, how many times do you meet someone in your life that you spend over 40 years with as a friend and as a business partner? I got to know his wife, Barb, very well. We played cards together when she was pregnant with Ryan and then Missy. So I feel so lucky to have met Richard Turley and had the honor of working with him side by side. We started out working on a table about this size together when it became Caruso Turley Scott. And then finally, we think we made enough money to where we could go buy another table. And so that's what we did, and that was the beginning of Caruso Turley Scott.
Paul Scott is an engineer's engineer, technically creative, a lifelong learner, and possessing a passion for continuous improvement of his engineering skills and serving his clients. Paul never hesitates to visit a job site, mentor a young engineer, volunteer for a committee, or volunteer for any role that betters the profession of structural engineering. I am honored to have served alongside Paul as an engineering colleague. But what I will always admire is Paul's big heart. Paul's heart for serving small clients and small projects. Paul's heart for scouting and his countless years of service to the Boy Scouts. Paul's heart and big smile for team members, friends, and acquaintances. And of course, Paul's big heart for his family. Paul, good luck. I'm excited to see where the next season takes you, and I look forward to hearing of your new adventures. As an unknown author once said, retirement is not the end of the road. It is the beginning of the open highway.
I first met Paul back in 1991 when I came to work as a young engineer at CTS. And immediately I was impressed by the high regard that all the clients had for him. And then I was also impressed because everybody knew who he was in our industry, everybody, by sight or by name. And he wasn't even very old back then. And so I wondered, how the heck did he do that? Well, as I got to know him and work with him, I saw that really the personal touch is what made the difference. It seemed like Paul remembered every project, every person, and all the details. He had genuine genuine interest in people and their stories and their history. And that personal touch made the difference in his connection with everybody, way more than even just engineering could do. I think of him a little bit like Santa Claus in our office. First, all the mounds and mounds of Christmas presents he always had for his kids hidden behind his desk. Secondly, for the random gift giving he would do in the office. And then thirdly, all the friends and clients that he would help work on their homes and provide structural engineering for them. He never could say no if somebody needed some help. Personally, I remember the first time that Paul actually handed the reins to me on a project in a meeting for the Navajo Generating Station in Page. And I was so flattered and pleased that he actually trusted me. And that was a really big moment in my career. I also remember site visits with him to the Nestle Distribution Center and standing next to the biggest moment frame column ever. And then, of course, the invitation to become a partner with him and Richard was a really big deal. And I'm so grateful to have that. We spent a lot of years sitting at the table together, working to make CTS the best it could possibly be. Paul, thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your hard work and for your heart, and for honoring Sam Caruso's legacy for all these years. Have a wonderful retirement.
So Paul, we met over 30 years ago, and when I started work here at CTS, we were out on 24th Street. That's where our office was. And as a new engineer, I remember one of the first projects I worked on was a small residential house. And it stands out because back then I didn't know what I really didn't know. And my whole scope on that was to design 3 little lintels for a window. And I thought, I was like, wow, this is a great job. I'm designing a house. But really, it was just 3 lintels. And that was my very first job at CTS. And over the years, as I gained experience, you taught me a lot of not just the engineering side, but the constructability side. And as I gained experience, I saw that, or I noticed that you also worked not just with architects and developers, but you worked with a lot of contractors. And I think because of the way you were able to explain a project and communicate that not just to the engineers, but to clients and to contractors, you just had a good way of doing that. And I think that's part of the reason why you work with a lot of contractors. And as I gained experience and moved up into the project manager level, I remember taking over some clients, and I thought, oh no, I have to basically take the place of Paul, and this is my first job managing, say, with adaptive architects. I was really excited to run with some of those projects, but you were working with them for a long time, and I was nervous at first, but Vince DeBella had really good things to say about you, and then I was nervous, but the projects went ahead smoothly, and along with some other clients. So Paul, I just want to wish you a happy retirement. I know you'll stay busy. We're going to miss you around the office. Good luck, and hope you enjoy whatever hobbies you've got lined up to do.
I've been very blessed to have known Paul Scott over the last 3 decades plus. He's been an amazing mentor and friend. Paul is a terrific role model, both in the office and out. I encourage new engineers and other team members to pay attention to the example Paul sets. When he says he's going to do something, you can rest assured that he will follow through. He takes community involvement very seriously also. Within the structural engineering world, Paul has chaired the Structural Engineers of Arizona Code Committee for many years. He also participates in writing the National Masonry Code and grades structural licensure exams. Outside the office, Paul has been involved in the Boy Scouts and Cub Scout programs for as long as I've known him. He certainly lives his life by the Scout oath and law. How he finds time for all this, I do not know. Back in the late 90s, Tom Hecox, Tim Welsh, and I went to the Sun Bowl in El Paso, Texas to see ASU play Iowa. Paul was at the same game, and he made a point of finding us in the stadium. He didn't need to do that, but that's just the kind of person Paul is. I am wearing the closest thing I have to Iowa State red today, just for Paul. Paul, I'm going to miss interacting with you every day. I truly wish you the best during your retirement and hope there are many new hiking trails and adventures in your future.
Paul, just wanted to say congratulations on your retirement. It's been a crazy 25 years. I wanted to thank you for being the tiebreak. The in I thought I had at this company didn't seem to want me in, so thanks for hiring me initially. And I want to just thank you for all the advice and engineering challenges throughout the years. You've really pushed me and mentored me in a wonderful way. So congratulations on the retirement. I hope to have the same fire for engineering and fire for life when I get to your age. So good luck.
I had the pleasure of meeting with Paul for my job interview in March of 2000. As we started our casual conversation about being from the upper Midwest and growing up in snow country, the topic quickly turned to building design and construction. He quickly stated, at CTS, we are all working engineers because that's what we do best. It was easy to see Paul's excitement for structural engineering and his true passion for teaching. Fast forward 23 years, and I still see that same person I met during my job interview, with the same level of excitement and passion for engineering. Paul is always quick to grab a pencil, paper, and straight edge and start sketching a creative design solution. He enjoys meeting with his project engineers and helping them understand the engineering approach to take and the importance of back-checking the drawings. I really appreciate Paul's level of dedication and passion for the work that he loves. I am always amazed at all the job site souvenirs he was able to collect over his 46 years of service. I wish Paul nothing but the best for his upcoming retirement, and I wish he and Janet safe travels. Thank you, Paul, for being a true ambassador for our industry.
Hi, Paul. Understand you're retiring here, end of the year. It's been great working with you. Thanks for all the pointers, tips you've given me over the years, and enjoy your retirement.
Paul, I can't believe it's been 22 years we've worked together. Happy retirement. Learned a lot from you over the years. Make sure everything has dimensions. Start sketches with what you know. Hope you enjoy your retirement. Hope to see you after your retirement.
Hello, Paul. Your upcoming retirement has generated a lot of emotions in me. But I would have to say that envy is probably at the top. We started our journey together almost 30 years ago when I sat across the table from you and Richard Turley for an interview. I remember how impressed I was at the time regarding your mutual respect for each other and the immense value that you placed on your clients and employees. Over the years, I have seen and been a recipient of your generosity. It's immense. I've been blessed from that, and you have blessed many lives. I remember all the events and celebrations for employees, and you would remember them. Your interest was real, and your concern was always genuine. Paul, I've loved watching you lead out at company events, where you intentionally speak to every team member, and you demonstrate sincere interest. I'm not sure if you know how impactful that was to me and to all of our team members. Paul, the time has come for you where you can say goodbye to all of the work-related stress, tension, training, management, even building code committees. And you can say goodbye to all of those impossible deadlines imposed by those darn creative architects. I truly wish you and Janet a wonderful retirement journey together and joy for many years to come. Thank you for all of the wonderful memories.
Paul, I love you so much, and I am so sad and kind of happy because I know you and Janet are going to have so much fun doing your thing, but I'm going to miss you so bad. I just lost your letter opener, and so the whole office is secretly looking for it, and we hope that we find it before you see this, or I may not be here when you watch this, which is going to be really sad. I'm going to miss doing your billing, and so I made Crystal promise that I'm going to meet with you this time, and you're going to be the first one done, and we are going to finalize all these invoices early so that you have the absolute best, highest total before you leave. Even if I have to transfer other people's projects to your totals, we're going to do that. And we're also going to write everything off so that you leave with a $0 AR, which is going to make you so happy to finish A1, number one, because you are the king and we will love you forever.
Paul, you often remind people that CTS needs to make a profit.
Yes, and the reason I do that is what do we sell? We sell time. And if you're not efficient at managing your time, it can be a problem making a profit. And I'll jokingly say sometimes that we need to end up with more money at the end of the day when we started, or the end of the week, or the end of the month. And that if we don't, then we have to go to Circle K and get another job to make up for the losses that we just happen to have occur that day or that week. So it's a little bit of a joke thing I tell my engineers, but it's just a reminder that they want a paycheck, and I did the same thing. I want a paycheck also, and that's why I'm here. I'm part of the team that builds buildings. But we also need to make a profit or it doesn't work. We have to be able to pay the bills in order for everything to work. So it's kind of a joking thing. And I always use Circle K. If we're not making a profit, we got to go get a job at Circle K.
Paul, why do you say all work is honorable?
Well, that's an easy one because it's correct, right? All work is honorable. I respect anyone that has a job and goes to work every day and gives it their best shot. But there's a reason that I'm usually telling one of my engineers or drafters that all work is honorable. And that is because the work they're doing right then may be hard, maybe not so glamorous as some other work. And I tell them that as a way to then say, all work is honorable, but some work is more fun. And to me, the more fun work in my career, looking back at my career, has been the custom homes, the golf course clubhouses, the churches, those special structures that you just have a certain energy and interest in to be part of the team that builds that building. So I tell my engineers that all work is honorable, so keep working hard, but remember and appreciate the times when the work you have is more fun.